Yeah, honey, it's gonna be it's your boy Roman Puss here with another character concept with my boy Certainty. Say hi.
I'm here again. I know you want me gone.
Yeah, so we do another character concept for hopefully we'll see like with these potentially bounty fests, and we're gonna kind of see what they have, but we're gonna go over these traits. They got some spicy ones, we got some fat amount of characters, we got Nami, we got Brook, we got Jimbei, and we got Pudding. A bunch of Whole Cake Island based units since we are in the leaks, so we're gonna keep out for them. But yeah, let's run over them. Let's go over. Let's start with Whole Cake Island Nami, which a lot of people are actually very excited for. At least a lot of the Nami fans. You want to touch on her class, and we don't really need to care about her stats so much, but if you want to dabble on those, what you got, Certainty?
She's just a red attacker, same as Akainu. Very unique kit. Roman really went crazy with them. If you're looking at them, there's a lot of HP. A lot of attack, not so much defense, but it looks like a really solid character. We're gonna go on with them, but yeah, the Simps are gonna be happy for her.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna start with her skill 1. This is kind of weird. Her skill 1 is basically you can change it into 3 different forms. This will never happen because Bandai is obnoxious and doesn't like to do anything crazy good, but like basically you would be able to change it at any point in time, whether you're knocked down, knocked back, confused, stunned, any of that. You can press and hold the ability. It'll pop up 3 different like colors, like a red, blue, and like a yellow, and you can change it between those 3, and that's what it'll be. And it'll let go, and then you can just press this button again, and then it'll actually use it, provided you're able to use the skill. There's the 3 different parts you set out. It's called Weather Egg. Nami launches the Weather Egg and explodes it in front of her, dealing one of the 3 effects. Cooldown a 2 seconds for that being relevant. First ability is Lightning Tempo. Rains down bolts of lightning, hitting numerous times and zapping the enemies, applying a lightning each time. So it'll zap them. They'll be kind of that. So if you're now, you're kind of withstand it like a good chunk. The next up is the Snow Cloud Tempo, which creates a blizzard storm in front of her, constantly freezing people, and does like a base amount of damage. Does a good chunk. So it's don't think like Monet's shield. Like Certainty kind of thought that's what it was going to be at first, but no, it's actually going to be like a blizzard, like a big storm, like in front of her. So think of something obnoxious like that. And then her last one is Rain Tempo. So it's going to pour down rain, dealing constant damage for a period of time and slowing enemies by 50% for 3 seconds of a slow it lasts, and then disabling Devil Fruit users so they can't attack in there. And then while and it applies a wet effect. Now this wet effect will make Devil Fruit users take 30% increased damage, and it lasts about 5 seconds and then reapplied each second. So like each second they're in the rain, if they're standing in that rain effect. And this rain will kind of do 5% of their max HP each time they're sitting in it. So if you don't want to get hit by the rain, you can just walk out of it, which is kind of nice. And the slows only last for 3 seconds, so you'll be able to get unslowed as well. But if you're staying in it, you're going to get melted, which is kind of like interesting. So she's going to be very like capable of pushing people off, which is going to be obnoxious. Yeah.
You notice that the lightning tempo, it's gonna last for quite a while, because otherwise you're dealing 1,500 damage. That would be a little bit crazy, but you're obviously gonna be able to walk out, and it's kind of like it's a long skill, so you'll be able to walk out. Don't worry about that. Snow Cloud does pretty decent damage as well. Another cool thing about the wet effect that we came up with, well, he did really. It removes Incinerate and a Flame for your allies, which is the first status effect to actually affect your allies as well, and also you. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yes, it'll be fantastic. And then the wet effect, obviously you won't have the negatives on your allies. The wet effect will just like cleanse you of the status effects for that. Yeah, and so yeah, I already went over she can change her stuff. Her skill 2, Mirage Tempo. This one was kind of tricky because I was trying to think of like anything that she did on the Whole Cake Island, and she did use her clones and stuff when she was in the forest. Nami spawns 6 clones. I think she did or whatever, I'm pretty sure. Nami spawns 6 clones that will run at the enemies and attack them until the clones are defeated. If the enemy is within range of exploding clone, they will take 10% of their maximum HP as damage. They cannot take more than 1 clone's damage, and each hit from the clone, when the clones are actually attacking the enemy, if they didn't kill the clones will sit there and whack the enemy for 1% of their max HP as damage. So if you're just sitting there getting wailed on by 6 clones, you're going to be taking like 1% of your, like 6% of your max HP. Like if all 6 hit you at the same time, and then they'll hit you again for another 6%. So you'll get melted if you don't take care of them. That's like 37-second cooldown, and it's like pretty alright. It's pretty alright. So
and the HP of the clone scaled off your own HP? So like 150% of your HP or something?
I think probably not 150, because that might be too much. Yeah. Probably just like straight 100 or like 50%, maybe less than your full amount of HP. Might be probably like 75% or 50%, somewhere around there. And then, do you want to touch on character traits?
Sure. Before that, we don't really have much to go off. They really didn't do anything in Whole Cake Island, but stand there. So, this is the best we can come up with. Some of these skills are from other past arcs, but this is the best we could do. We think they're pretty good. Character trait. So the first one, when attacked by enemy, 100% chance to block damage, and this happens every 15 seconds. So, if like, let's say a Kainu uses a skill 1 on you, the first time you're hit, you won't get damage. Let's say you run away for the next 15 seconds and come back. The second time you're hit, you're not going to take any damage. But of course, after the first hit, you're going to start taking damage again. Gain the following effect when attacking an enemy with status effects. So if you attack someone that's shocked, you will gain attack by 10% up to 50%. If you attack someone that's frozen, you'll gain defense by 10% up to 50%. And if you attack someone with wet, you will heal for 15% of HP.
Yeah. So you got fat different. She's got a variety of options. I love it. And also the blocking of the damage is just to encourage people, like it's like discourage like hard hitters. It's kind of like, because multi hitters are kind of not ideal until a Kainu came along, but multi hitters are now like kind of more important. And so this is kind of to encourage multi hitters and kind of buff them per se, so they can actually do something instead. Her trait 1's effects is when in the same treasure area as your clones, increase your damage by 30%. So if you use your clones and you're trying to attack a defender, you can just sit there and you can wail on them and do a lot more damage. And then while standing in your specific trait area, you can nullify status effects. So aka like your own trait area of stuff. So you are kind of immune. It lets you fight a Kainu. This is whether you're in your lightning, snowstorm, or rain effect area. And then your trait 2, while in a specific trait area, nullify your stagger. This is, again, we're just trying to help you fight a Kainu because the homeboy like be knocking you down 24/7. And when attacking an enemy in an enhanced state, aka Big Mom's state, a Kainu's lava state, did we want to include Caesar / Captain Kidd and count that as an enhanced state or no?
I don't think they're counted as that by Bandai, so probably not.
I know, but I was just wondering if we wanted to, because I'm sure they could like count as some kind of state. Yeah,
I would love it, but they probably wouldn't. But let's count it as that regardless, because yeah.
Okay, so and if they have that, then there will be increased damage by 30%, and skill 1 to reduce your skill 1 by 3% per hit. So like, if they're buffed, yeah, it's pretty much a Kainu counter. It's kind of what she's meant to be, even though she's red, but it's still to help. So it's really nice, really nice, really nice. All right, let me run through Brook's stuff, and I'm gonna let you hit on the skills. So Brook, he's got like decent HP or whatever, got good attack. We actually made like fairly balanced. The stats don't really matter too much, just because I don't, unless they're like giga low attack. That's the only time they like I think really matter, or giga high defense. 2200 attack, 2220, 2189 defense. It's like pretty all right. He's gonna be a blue runner. I know another runner. We kind of thought about attack, but like there's no way they're gonna do devil attacker on a bounty fest. And if these two are coming, they're going to be together. It's just unlikely. So Brook might just be another runner. And some of the stuff for the skills kind of just fits in that way. All right, hit me up with them skills, Certainty.
All right, so this guy is going to be like Captain Kidd, but worse. He's just going to charge at you like crazy. Skill 1, Soul Spire. He summons his giant soul, if you remember that in the anime. His spirit will remain over him for a set period of time, continuously inflicting damage, and he attacks every 1 second. So the giant soul lasts 15 seconds, and it deals 65. When it's first spawned, it deals 784 damage, and every second while you're being attacked by the soul, you will take 65 damage. And any time that the soul hits an opponent, he will increase that damage by 10. So let's say he hits 2 opponents throughout the entire skill, so 30 it'll be plus 300. So near the end, he's gonna be doing 365 damage per hit. So pretty big damage there, and the cooldown is 41 seconds.
Yeah. And then we got the skill 2. These are actually pretty interesting. We got Frozen Spirit Ghosts. This is kind of like a rapid fire, like it's like he shoots out his sword. He rapid fires attacks about 10 times and inflicts self with Frozen Ghost status. Actually, do we want to keep it Frozen Spirit Sword? We kind of flip between swords and ghosts.
Yeah, ghost.
Okay, so these are kind of like ghosts because it kind of fits more into his thing. but it brought something new with this character. When you use this ability, you'll be inflicted with your frozen ghost status, which these little ghosties will like follow around you, kind of like your pieces of your spirit, and inflict fear upon the enemy's hit. Now this isn't directly from the anime, but it's kind of like a made-up move, and I think really nice for Brook because it's, I don't know, it just brings something new to the table. And it lasts for 12 seconds for the status effect, and while inflicted with the frozen ghost spirit, you can remove, incinerate, and a flame. They'll just kind of heal you from that. Yes, we're trying to eliminate Akainu from being a problem. That is the thing. Cooldown's 36 seconds, so like not bad. Damage is 123, 10 hits, so it goes like over 1,000 if you get hit by all 10 hits. And the sword damage, like whenever they rotate around you, they attack every so often, and they actually deal like percentage of your HP. So if you're standing there, you're fighting them, I think it's every 3 seconds and or 5 seconds, they'll deal 10% of your maximum HP. So you'll get bamboozled with that. And for the fear effect, did we keep the fear effect or no? We did not keep the fear effect, I don't think.
I think we kept. No, wait.
Yeah, I think we removed it.
I'm not sure.
That's okay. That's okay if we removed the fear effect. I think we did. Yeah, that's right. All right, let's move on to traits. All right, hit me with them traits, big boy.
Oh boy, here we go. This one's crazy. Ignore enemies' anti-staggers. Any anti-stagger that's not from an ability. So let's say runners, how they have the boost trait when they're above 97%. Attack Roger when he attacks an enemy that's over 80%. All those trait nullify stagger, he just ignores them, so you will get staggered regardless. Really cool. When you're inflicting an enemy with the frozen ghost status effect, the ghost will inflict the damage every 3 seconds. That's the 10%. Also staggering them, and it covers 360 degrees around Brook and kind of like a small circle. So basically, if you have your skill 1 and skill 2 up, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage to them, and they're going to want to run as fast as they can. Though you are a runner, so good luck to them. That he's just going to be absolutely insane. And because he's Brook, nullify shock and nullify stolen heart.
Yeah. All right. Trait 1. Increase damage by 40% to feared units. Actually, we're going to keep that feared units. It's probably when you use your skill 1, you're going to be feared. So I think we actually do have to keep that. Yeah, I do have inflict fear upon the enemy's hits when you use skill 2. I'm blind. So yeah, so you do have increased damage to feared units, so they'll be running away. Obviously, if you ever do status effects, so people like Frankie aren't going to be too worried about that, which is okay. Some people will counter him, and that's fine. While Soulspire is in effect, reduce damage received by 40% and increase capture speed by 30%. It's kind of just to give him something that lets him like take more flags, and he is runner, so we kind of like do that. He's kind of morphed a little bit between like runner and attacker, and so he's been different classes and almost defender. Trait 2. If the enemies have increased stats, Frozen Swords will do 1.5 damage, aka 15% of the max HP when they're hit. Which is to kind of like deal with Roger and Akainu. It's just to do fatter damage to them and kind of punish them for increasing their stats, which is fine. And it'll be against like Nico Robin. There's actually a lot of characters, to be honest. But if you're ranged, you don't have too much to worry about. When attacking a color that differs from your own, aka he is blue, so this will be red units or green units, you will heal by 5% per hit. We kind of wanted to add like a little bit of heals, but we kind of wanted to mess with the color system a little bit. So kind of throws a little something in there, and I like that. So it works really nice.
Now that I get it, the heal by 5% for every hit does not apply for his skill 1, because that would be a little bit crazy. Also, his fear status effect, we initially had something cool going on, but that doesn't really work with the character. So when an opponent is feared, they will take 140% increased damage. Or just 30% increased damage.
Yeah, my boy doing lots of damage. All right, that's our Brook for us. Next up, my Charlotte, the only Charlotte member I'm literally going to get probably for the next several months is Charlotte Pudding. She's got pretty good HP. Runners always have like high HPs. These are boost 3 status effect. I don't know if I mentioned that by now, but like, so they have about 10k, 300 HP. Attack is 2143, defense is 2100, so she's lower on the defense. That's okay, that's fine. Red Runner, I was trying to think, and I feel like Red Runner is actually like, I'm pretty happy with that. Her skills don't sound the craziest, and they're not meant to be the craziest because she is a step up unit. But the traits kind of just stack on and add on to them. So skill 1 is basically her memory edit, where she is the point of that, where she messes with people's memories and stuff. So she swipes in front of her, dealing damage and resetting the enemy's cooldowns. This does damage. It does about 342 damage. It resets their cooldowns by 30%. I'm trying to nerf skills because everyone plays like a wimp in these games until they come back and then just use their skills again because everything's such short cooldowns. So what I want to do is she is like enabled to keep putting people's stuff on cooldowns, and this is only a 10-second cooldown. So if they go on 30% cooldown, if they have a super long ability, she can just sit there and keep spamming that, and it's kind of like Cortisone. So if you have 20% like cooldown as well on skill 1, you'll have 8 seconds of cooldown for that. So it's actually insane, and you're going to keep putting stuff on cooldown, and it's really punishing, which is nice for these EXs who rely on skills and only use those. Skill 2, this one's a memory action is kind of what I named it, or memo action, because that's her devil fruit, and putting basically rides forward on Rabion, which is her little flying carpet thing, the homie from Big Mom, dealing damage to enemies, and she's dealing damage, and she's unable to be knocked back or staggered while she's doing this. So she flies forward, she goes. It could be a press and hold, but I think I just want it to be a straight dash. So I'm including it as just a straight dash forward, and does 840 damage and about 35-second cooldown. Now hit me with them traits, big boy.
Oh boy. So basically, when you're getting attacked, 5% chance to increase cooldown of the enemy's skill by 30%. Pretty good. A lot more, you know, cooldown stuff. When using skill 2 in a treasure area, so if you start the skill in a treasure area, or if you use the skill and then land up in a treasure area, that treasure area becomes a trait area. If you're off the treasure area, you leave a trail behind. When enemies touch the trait area, enemies become allies and reverse. So the enemies will become allies for you. They will not deal any damage or do anything. They'll just be unable to move and just walk around. So they'll be inflicted with memory loss. Also, every second you have the memory loss status effect, there's a 5% chance to set off either skill, which, because they're now an ally, you won't be damaged. Instead, any allies of them that are nearby, they will get affected by the skills. And so also, like the as we said earlier, the inflicted enemies will appear as allies, so like their health bar will be the other color, and on the map they will appear as allies. When allies step in the treasure area, their cooldowns are refreshed. When enemies step in the treasure area, their cooldowns are refreshed. Only applies one time.
No, that's when the allies. That's when allies. You're right. Yeah, when allies are in the trait area.
Back to back?
Yeah, I want allies to get their cooldowns back. Yeah. So it gives benefits to your allies as well. No, you're right on that.
Okay. And the effect for the memory loss lasts 5 seconds.
Yeah. So what do I have? And then while you capture treasure, you are immune to enemy skills. I threw that on there because also nerfing skills, bro. We just tapping on that a little bit. Trait 1, each time you reduce the cooldown of an enemy, increase capture speed by 10% up to 15%. Gives you a little capture speed. While attacked when capturing your treasure, reduce enemies attack by 50% for 10 seconds. So if they hit you, first off, they have to hit you with their basic attack, and then second of all, they'll have to hit you with reduced attack. So it allows you to fight them back for 10 seconds after that to get back on the treasure, kind of mess with them from there. If you're below 15% of your maximum HP, heal 70% when stepping on your trait. I was trying to give her some way of heals, and I was trying to find like a new unique way of doing it. So Certainty came up with this, and yeah, it's gonna be kind of tricky, but it all falls in since she can survive with like 1 HP and she can do that. It's kind of helps a lot. When your strength is 150%, 1 HP will be left when KO'd by the enemy, hence like that trait. So it kind of goes hand in hand, so you'll be able to heal back up. You can only do it like one time. I don't think we actually capitalize on that. Do we want to make sure it's only one time Certainty?
Yeah, probably only one time.
Okay.
Though the skill does have a pretty long cooldown, so you know, it can go either way. I think we also forgot to say for the second character trait, the treasure area will become a trait area for only 5 seconds, so you can avoid it.
Okay. Yeah. We did. I think we did forget to mention that one. Alrighty. Let's see, Jimbei. You want to run on Jimbei for a sec?
Alright, this man, Jimbei, we have done him justice. Even though, as you can see, he's green, I know a lot of you are already getting ready to spam in the comments, why'd you make him green? This is why. So his HP is pretty low, he's a step up. Attack is very high for a defender. Defense also decently high. So skill 1, 5000 tile true punch. Jimbei punches forward and knocks back the enemies, kind of similar to Kid. Increased damage dealt 100% against characters of power user type. Damage 822, so you'll be dealing double against power users, and cooldown is 24 seconds. So very similar to Kid and very strong hitting. You want to go ahead with skill 2?
Yeah. And so skill 2, Spear Wave Rain Shower. He actually uses this against Prometheus in the anime. And he creates a trait area that causes rain to continually pour down, inflicting the enemies with the wet effect. The same thing that Nami had with this wet effect. It's basically doing the same thing. Healing 1%. Like while it's raining, it's going to rain down on you. It's a little magic. You'll heal 1% per second while you're standing in it. And then if there's enemies in the trait area with you, you'll heal an extra 1% per enemy in there. So you have 1% plus. If there's all 4 enemies in there with you, you'll heal a total of 5% of HP per second while they're in there with you for 30 seconds. So you can just continually heal. So if more people are trying to attack you, you're going to be healing more while that rain is up in effect. Now, because this is so crazy and like nutty, it's going to be a 58-second cooldown. And it's going to do a little bit of damage, like 10 base damage. So it's like there just to kind of do something and do a little bit of damage. But it's mainly like a very supportive move. But it helps you defend your own treasure, which is the point of that. Character traits. When attacking an enemy inflicted with the wet status effect, increase damage by 30% and increase enemy skill cooldown by 4% per hit. So we're hitting on that skill cooldown again because Roger Kinu only uses those. When attacking a character type power user enemy, increase damage dealt by 30%. So he's very attacker oriented defender, but so is Oni Luffy, and so is like a couple like Captain Kid kind of as well. And yeah, we actually allows him to do stuff because most defenders who can't fight back are just kind of sitting ducks and just get wailed on by Odin and people like that like eventually will just kill them. If they can't do damage back, they're just going to eventually die because they can't tank for forever. The last character trait is while you're in your trait area, reduce damage received by 30% and increase cooldown reduction speed of skill 1 by 20%. So rewarding just sitting in your own trait area. Those are always nice. It's convenient and it's kind of easy traits to just kind of proc. All right, hit me with them last trait 1s and 2s, Certainty.
When you're in your treasure area, nullify stagger and change knockback to knockdown effect. This is exactly what Frankie has. It is by far one of the best defender traits. When knocking back an enemy, heal 20% and increase damage by 30%, same as Sugar. So those two skills are copy pasta, but it's good. Trait 2, when attacking an enemy inflicted with a wet status effect, reduce damage by 40%. Very good because, as you might have known, skill 2 has a very, very large range, like almost 3, maybe even 4 predator areas. So huge range. You'll maybe even cover 2 flags with it. You're constantly going to be inflicting people with a wet status effect. When attacking an enemy inflicted with wet status effect, ignore damage reduction. So, to recap, he has 70% damage reduction. What am I saying? 70%. Yeah, 70% damage reduction. 30% defense if you knock someone back with a skill 1. 60% damage increase and damage reduction. He is going to be an absolute monster.
Yeah, which is needed because greens need a little buffing. I ain't gonna lie. And a good Jimbei. Because when the first Jimbei came out anyway, he just wasn't anything crazy. And I think a lot of people skipped him because he wasn't a single bounty fest as well. So that's another reason why people skipped him. But yeah, hopefully this one will be done justice. We'll see what happens. I know the one looked like a 3-star or something based off the stats, but that was never locked in place. And hopefully he's been in like the works for quite some time now. So hopefully they've kind of touched him up quite a lot by now. But we'll see about that. But that is our character concepts for these. And it is amazing. I love doing these character concepts too at Bandai. Usually won't do them as justice and likes to like intentionally nerf certain units, but that's all right. Thank you, Certainty, so much for helping me out with these and being here and doing these up with me. I appreciate your time. And yeah, so that's all we have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the character concept video. Make sure you check out Certainty down below. I'll leave the description in there. And that's all I have for you guys. So I'm your boy Roman Puss and Certainty. Got any goodbyes to say?
I guess we'll be back soon or later with another concept character. By the time you're watching this, they probably have released the teasers, so you'll know if we're right or wrong. So this was recorded before we guessed it. So, yep, we are actual gods that already guessed what characters they were.
If it's them. I kind of hope it's not them, but we'll see. I have a feeling it is. But that's all I have for you guys. I'm the boy Roman Puss. I'm gonna be taking off. Yeah, holy peace, beautiful people.